Hello, friends. Good evening. We're talking about the new ENHYPEN album, Romance Untold, and I want to make this quick for two reasons. One, I'm tired. It's nighttime, I'm tired. But more importantly, it's hot as shit here, and I would like to go into air conditioning. Yeah, I know I say this every summer. I'm not built for heat. I don't do warm temperatures. It hits 75 and I immediately want death. And it has been in the 80s this entire week. It was like 93 yesterday, so I kind of want to die, but that's not the point. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about ENHYPEN. So, to go over how this video is going to work, I'm just going to run through the track list and give you my thoughts on each song, and then give this album a score out of 10 at the end. But I do have a couple of disclaimers before I continue. Disclaimer number one, this album's new, okay? It's been out for like an hour. I've heard it twice in its entirety so far, and my opinions on all the songs very much may change over time. Second disclaimer is my standard one. Everything I say in this video is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion because music is subjective, and that is great. Alrighty, let's get into the album, and starting us off, we have the opening song, Moonstruck, and I actually liked it, okay? I enjoy a more chill, a more toned down opening song if the vibes are right, and the vibes were right here, okay? This one, it's nice, and I liked it. It doesn't hurt that a song is also good as a song. Like, the verses are solid, plus I enjoyed the pre-chorus, so there's that too. However, the part that truly sells this song, at least for me, is definitely the chorus. I loved this chorus. I did. It fucks. It does. It works so perfectly, and I kind of am a bit obsessed with it. Basically, good song. Great opener. Very much a fan. And also, someone who knows ENHYPEN better than I am a fake fan, but someone who really knows their discography and listens to it more consistently can probably tell me the answer to this. I don't feel like checking. But don't they do, like, spoken intros to their albums? I feel like this is the first mainline ENHYPEN album to not have a spoken intro. I could be wrong. I don't feel like checking, because again, it's hot and I'm tired, but I feel like that's the case, and frankly, I vastly prefer this one. I think it's much better. Anyway, next up, we have the title track, XO, parentheses, Only If You Say Yes, and this is a complex song, okay? At least to me, it's a little complex, because on the one hand, I can see how this song could have worked. I could have seen this being a great song, a really interesting one, but I feel like the execution was a bit off. Like, the part where the audio skips, I think that could have worked. I think that could have been really cool, but the execution of it, the way they did it, just did not work for me. In fact, it bothered me. But let's get into the actual song. It's fine. It's definitely a fine song. And the grand scheme of their titles, this isn't the worst one, but I would definitely call this one of the weaker ones simply because it doesn't do much for me. It's not a bad song, don't get me wrong. ENHYPEN has at least one title that I would objectively call a bad song. This is not that, okay? This is a fine song. It's just kind of mostly there. Like, the chorus is there. It exists, and I feel nothing listening to it. The verses, meanwhile, are fine. They're fine verses, but they're not great. Big picture, this is a fine song. Like, again, this is not an offensive song. If this were a B-side, I would probably feel very differently about it, but the way that it is the title, as the follow-up specifically to Sweet Venom, which I consider one of their best titles, it's just, I can't help but be a little bit disappointed. Also, before anyone says it, yes, I know they have their Dark Moon EP. I am aware of it. I don't consider it a mainline ENHYPEN release. I consider it more of like a side thing. In terms of the mainline catalog of ENHYPEN, their chronology, if you will, I think this is the follow-up to Sweet Venom, and this is nowhere near Sweet Venom's level. Also, while I'm here, let's discuss the English version, okay? Because I've said this many times, different language versions of the various K-pop songs, they're all the same to me, okay? The only difference is the language you're singing in, and that's meaningless to me like 90% of the time. The only real difference with this one is that it actually has a feature. It has Jake, and he's on it. Like, not Jake of ENHYPEN, a different Jake, actually, now that I say that a lot. I didn't realize. I forgot about Jake's existence. There's two Jakes on this song. There's both the one with the V and the one with an A. Anyway, Mr. J with a V, he has a verse. He has the second verse, and it's good. He has a good verse. He sounds great here. His vocals sound really good. This isn't his best verse, but he does a good job. Okay, cool. Moving on from the title track, we have the next song, which is Your Eyes Only, and it's another fine one, okay? It's fine. It's perfectly acceptable, but it's kind of boring. I don't know, maybe this is just a me thing. Maybe it's just my mind and my neuroses. I feel like this song is lacking every form of oomph a song can have. A great example, actually, the bestie was over tonight because it's 7-Eleven. We got 7-Eleven. She came over. We got Thai food. And the Thai food we got was the most bland Thai food I've ever had in my life. Like, it was flavorless in every way. I feel like this song, very similar to that, just a song. Like the chorus, right? The chorus could have been great. I see the bones of a great chorus. I see the potential for a great chorus. I just don't think they followed through well enough, and what we got is kind of bland. In short, it's a fine song, okay? It is inoffensive. You will not be hurt by it, and I'm sure if I put this on in the background while I was making dinner or something, it would be good background noise. However, as an active listen, it's just kind of meh. Anyway, next we have 100 Broken Hearts, and this is another fine one, okay? I will say, I like this chorus more than the last song's chorus. I do like this one more. But in the grand scheme of things, this is another song that I just don't feel much when I listen to. Like, can we have honesty time? I'm honest on this channel. Let's have honesty time. I feel like if this album were not a full album and need to have a full album length track list, this song wouldn't have been on there. Probably the last song too. They both just have very filler vibes to me, where like if I were in charge of the upcoming ENHYPEN album, and I were in charge of a mini and not a full, these two songs would not have made the cut. I would have taken them out immediately because they don't do anything. They're just there. They're just filler. And I hate calling a song filler, but these have filler vibes. Anyway, it's a fine song. You will not be hurt by it. You will not be upset if you listen to it. I, for one, probably won't be seeking this one out very often. On to the next song, Brought the Heat Back. And the song is great. Okay, this song woke me up from the emotional coma the last two songs had put me in, and I was greatly appreciative of that. The main driver for that is this chorus. I loved this chorus. I did. It's such a banger. It is very possibly my favorite chorus on this album. I just think it's so good. Don't get me wrong, the rest of the song is also good, okay? I like the verses, the music is solid, but that chorus is everything to me. However, while I'm here, I have some complaints about the song. It's not all positive, okay? First, the yeah-yeah-yeahs in the verses. They annoy me. I think they're too annoying. I think if it was like once or twice, even per verse, I would have been fine with it. But I feel like they come up too much and it annoys me. Also, the bridge, I kind of hate it. I do. It doesn't fit the vibes of the song and I'm not a fan of it. That said, to me, this is a song where the good vastly outweighs the bad. I'm absolutely going to be listening to this one again because I really liked it. Our next song is Paranormal, and I think this could have been the best song on the album. Keyword could have been, because it fumbles the bag in a couple places. Let's start positives though. This music is excellent, okay? I really liked it. I think it is very possibly the strongest background music on this album. From the first second I heard it really like pick up, I was enthralled. It also reminds me of something, specifically the part right as it goes into the chorus. It reminds me of another song. I don't know what song it is, but I know I like it. And speaking of the chorus, I like this chorus. I think this chorus is great. I was jamming to it every time I heard it. However, the same cannot be said for the verses. The verses are not bad, but they are not on the level of this chorus, and while that is not necessarily a deal breaker, there are countless songs where I like the chorus a lot more than I like the verses even. It's not a deal breaker, but it does bring the song down. Like, they are noticeably of a lesser quality, at least if you ask me. Anyway, next we have Royalty, and this is another good one for me. I specifically think this is one of those songs where if I were to put this on as background noise, it would devour. If I put this on when I got to work, while I was checking my email, I would be bopping in my chair. I would be having fun whilst reading said emails. Don't get me wrong, as an active listen, it's still good. The verses are solid, and the chorus is very fun, but I just know in my spirit the place this song will truly thrive is as background noise. I really don't have much to say beyond that. It's a fun song. I would recommend you listen to it, and with that, we're gonna move on. Okay, last but not least, we have Highway 1009, that's what I'm calling it. And I will concede, it does kind of remind me of the earlier songs that I did say were bland and boring and filler. However, the thing that differentiates this song in particular is that it's the closer, and I think it works well as a closer. That said, this is another song where I just don't have a lot to say. It's nice. It's a good closer. Let's keep going. Cool. So, score time. Overall, I'm going to give this album an 8.6 out of 10. The first half is a bit rougher once we get through the opening. Those next, like, 4 or so songs aren't ideal, but the back half of this album is actually quite good. The one issue, I guess you could say I have with it, we don't have our banger. And ENHYPEN albums, even if I don't like the title, they usually have like one song that I would consider the banger of the album. This one didn't really have that. Like, there are good songs on here, but there aren't great songs on here, which isn't ideal if you ask me, but it's still a good album. So yeah, 8.6 out of 10. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment your thoughts on this album down below. Let me know how you feel. You can like and subscribe if you want to or don't. I will be okay either way. In the description, I will put all my other ENHYPEN related reviews. You can check those out if you so choose. And yeah, thank you again for watching. I'm gonna go edit this now in air conditioning because I'm dying. But yeah, thank you. Bye!